Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. Again, I'm Dr. Tom Waters. I'm your host for Nye County. And this is, we're always doing this on the second Tuesday of the month. And I am very glad to be here with my guests. And we're talking to
Peter Giordano.
Peter Giordano. And he's going to be talking about grief. And it's so important that we understand. He's going to explain the program, and he has everything here for us. So, but a couple things I want to talk about first. We have Miss Senior Golden Years. They do the USO dance. We call it the Vet Swing. And it's going to be on the 7th of November. It's going to be at the Pahrump Nugget. And the reason they do this is to honor veterans of Pahrump. Everybody knows BJ. Everybody knows her age, so I won't repeat her age. She's young, and she can outdance all the younger 60-year-olds that are working with her. But if you want to contact BJ to get any information about the Vet Swing program on the 7th of November, you can call her at 775-727-7011, or you can call Lorraine Murray at 702-682-5666. I'm going to repeat those very quickly. BJ is at 775-727-7011. Lorraine Murray at 702-682-5666. And that's for the Vet Swing, where they honor veterans, and that'll be on the 7th of November. I also want to congratulate the Chamber of Commerce for the program they put on with the Fall Festival. It was fantastic, and we can just look for better in 2016. It's going to be good. At this time, Peter Giordano, he's going to be talking about the grief support group, and it's something at Central Valley Baptist Church, and I know Pastor Ron, and he's a dear friend, and so this program I've heard so much about. When Pete came to me and talked to me about it, I just wanted him to be on the program so you would find out everything that we're talking about. So Peter, welcome to the program, and tell us all about why we have Grief Share and why we have a grief support group.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show to talk about such an important subject.
It is very
grief,
important, yes.
People that have lost a loved one. Grief Share is a worldwide ministry. It's in over 12,000 plus churches worldwide.
Great, okay.
It's church-based, it's Christ-centered support, and as there are three components to life, you need air, water, and food. Okay. There are three components to our Grief Share to help people to move on in their lives. The three components are video, which consists of counselors that have also lost loved ones so that they can relate to people that they're talking to. People that are grieving on the video relate how they are coping with their grief. After the video, the second component is the workbook. It's the Grief Share workbook.
Okay.
There are 13 segments which correspond with the 13 segments in the video. It runs for 13 weeks, 3 times a year.
Okay.
13 weeks, month off, 13 weeks, month off, etc.
So the people that are in the program right now, they will go for 13 weeks, and then you'll start a new program.
We start a new program. Our last program of this cycle is on the 24th of the month, this month. The new cycle starts November 21st.
Okay.
Most of the people will be retaking the program because they'll be at a different stage of their grief.
Okay. So after the first session that you've taken, you can repeat this?
Yes.
Okay. Is it encouraged to repeat it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. This is my second time. My wife and I, we lost our son in 1985, my 20-year-old son, and then my wife passed this January the 9th.
Oh, gee.
And I had to go to Las Vegas for grief counseling, and it happened to be Grief Share. When I saw the good it did, the people there and myself, that we need this in Pahrump.
Oh,
It's
great.
an outreach to the whole community. We expected July 11th, our first session, maybe one person or two. If we could have helped one person, it would have been a success.
Okay.
I would have considered it a success. Right now, we have registered 26 people. The gamut of grief. I mean, loved ones, spouses, children, etc.
You know, I notice it says here, help and encouragement after the death of a spouse, child, family member, or friend.
Right.
So it could be anywhere
Right.
that impacts you. Yeah.
That's right, exactly. And it's probably the worst thing that can happen on this earth is to lose a loved one.
Yes.
The pain is insurmountable. The third component.
Just let me ask you this
Sure.
question, because I know some people are asking, after something like this happens, how soon will the grief or the feeling go away?
There's no time limit on grief. One of the weeks in the video is being stuck in grief.
Okay.
We've had people that have lost a loved one 3 years ago, and they're still grieving. And the video explains being stuck in grief and what you should do so that you can get on with your life.
So moving on is the important thing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
The third component is the workbook. This, they journal as they're watching the video. It corresponds with the video.
Okay.
There's 13 weeks, there's 13 sections, each one coincides. The people journal. By the end of 13 weeks, they can look back and see the progress that they've made.
Okay.
Very important. This workbook is part of the registration fee. There is a one-time fee. It's $15, which includes your workbook.
Okay.
If they cannot afford it, Grief Share will take care of it. Everyone has to have a workbook,
Gotcha.
and we will pay for it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have so many things here.
No, there's a lot to this, and I definitely understand that. And the reason I asked you that one question is, my mother passed away in 1960, and I still feel the pain. That's when I asked the question, does it ever go away? And I don't think, to me, it hasn't gone away.
It won't go away.
Okay.
It'll never
But you
go
learn to
away.
live with it.
You learn to live with it. You
Okay.
learn to get on with your life. You're helping people. The best way to help yourself is to help others.
I like that.
And
Okay.
it's helped me tremendously by helping the people that come to Grief Share.
Okay.
We have 2 facilitators, and they have also lost loved ones. Everyone has lost loved ones that relate to the group, so we can empathize with them. We know exactly how they feel.
Okay.
You have people that say, oh, you can't possibly know how I feel. They haven't lost a loved one. We know. We
Been
know
there,
the pain
been
they're
there,
going
done that.
through. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just a very important thing, and Pastor Fairburn, Ron Fairburn, was gracious enough to host our Grief Share. He's very excited about it. He's 100% behind it, and I just say God bless him. God bless you for having me on this show.
He's a wonderful man.
He is.
And looking at all the information that you have, it's non-denominational. Registration fee is $15. It's held at the Central Valley Baptist Church of Pahrump, and that's over right, I guess if you take Blag, you pass right by his church.
You take Blag and off of 372 and just head south,
Yes.
and it's about a mile before Game Bird
Yes.
on the right-hand side. And by non-denominational, it doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Presbyterian, Methodist, Jewish, Muslim, or atheist. If you have lost a loved one, you are welcome to Grief Share. We will help you recover from your pain.
That in itself it makes it worthwhile just to be there. I was talking to a young woman that's in this group right now, and she was telling me about it before I met you.
Oh.
So, and she's saying it's something that works. So she said, you need to at least try to meet this guy. And I said, okay, I'll see about that. But then we met at the breakfast.
Right.
So that was just perfect timing. And I'm so glad, and so glad that you were able to come out today, because I think it's important for other people to hear this.
It is.
And understand that we have something in our community for people who are grieving. And this is Grief Share, as it's called. You're sharing the grief and at the same helping people get on with their lives.
Exactly.
And I think, like you said, helping others, it's going to help you.
It definitely.
Is there anything else that you would recommend that the people get to know just by watching this program?
Well, I would advise anyone who is suffering right now, grief, sometimes they can't face it for a couple months.
Yeah.
But I would recommend that they call and register with either Pastor Ron at the church, or the numbers that you had up on the screen, or myself.
Okay.
And each session is just self-contained. So you don't have to, if you miss one, that's fine, it doesn't matter. You can pick it up later. It's just so very, very important. I know, because I had gone through it. For the first 3 months, I was a total wreck, and I cried day and night. And my daughter finally said, "Dad, I know of a grief program at my church in Henderson."
Okay.
And we went, and here I am helping others. At our Grief Share meetings, we lined the table with boxes of Kleenex. That was at the first meeting. At this last meeting, which is the 11th, there was only 3 boxes.
Oh, that's great.
And eventually, by the time we end, we may not have any boxes.
Pete, thank you for being here. This is wonderful information. And we're out of time, and we'll want you to come back for our next session.